right, good morning. Let us continue our teaching on just for the faith of it. And yesterday we started uh, talking about how God was saying how many of you lack the necessary faith to achieve or grasp what He's trying to do in your life. And for a lot of us, we fail to understand that faith is a valid foundation in which we tend to receive anything in God. Uh, in fact, we was left off on uh, without faith, it is impossible to please God. So what we're going to do, we're going to continue that thought process because many of us, uh, we don't understand how and why God uses faith to get us to the next level in Him. And what we fail to see oftentimes, faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So we got to understand faith has its reason for being called faith. We got to understand faith extends beyond what we learn from our senses. Its tests are not merely tests of the senses which yield uncertainty, which means if you see something, you know that's yours. But when you don't see it, you don't know when it's coming, how it's coming, who it's gonna come through, or whatever. You just know it's coming. See, physical eyesight produces a conviction or evidence of visible things. See, but faith is that blood vessel or that organ which enables people to see the invisible order. That's why I share with y'all that message I received from someone that says I can't discern reality. I don't want to discern reality. It's nothing here for me. I drive a truck. I don't care about that truck. I see people. I don't care about them people to an extent that my life and my very being is consumed about who they are and what they're doing. I pay attention to either leaders I mentor or people I've been around. They do videos and they post status, but you want to come to me. Did you see my video? Did you see what I put on Facebook? I couldn't care less. You're not Your faith in what you do shouldn't please me. It should please God. See, that's why I watch people who get upset if I don't share their status, if I don't share their post. I don't share it because you're not ready. See, that's the simple thing of faith that people don't understand. I can believe in you without believing in what you do. See, when people look for you, see, watch this. Now faith is a substance of things hoped for. Watch your mindset. Let me put this up here and see if Brother Hubbard see it because it sure sound good. He gonna share it. I bust your bubble when I don't share it, don't I know I do. And then y'all get jealous. You get competitive. You did such and such. You ain't ready for ministry, nor are you in faith. Hey, did you see my video today? You supposed to be a leader. Why you worried about if I see your video? I pay attention to that because in my head, that's idol status. And I got to bust your bubble every time I get because your faith in how I approve what you do and not what God approves of what He do. Now we understand in Hebrews 11:1, it said of things hoped but evidence not seen. I know y'all got these new age prophets. They telling you to go touch the house, go walk around the house, go touch the car, go stand on the land. The Bible said faith is the substance of things hoped for, evidence not seen. When you see a prophet tell you to go look for evidence of what's God gonna give you, That should assure you that's not a prophet from God. You ain't never heard Brother Hubbard told you to go fix a place for your man in faith that your man coming. You ain't never heard me tell you go hang some clothes in the closet in faith that your woman or your man coming. It said evidence not seen. So when you see the evidence, it's no longer faith. It's a goal, it's an opportunity, or it's a vision that now you got to work to come to pass. And how do you work to come to pass? You go make you six figures. You try to go get fine. You go get you a BBL because you don't have faith that's God. See, you got to understand God only gonna send you what he gonna send you when he get ready to send it to you. We got to understand faith enable people in the past to overcome. I'm still living off great grandma and them faith because the thing about faith, it really has no expiration date. The only thing faith really requires from us is timing. Or better, email me, inbox me last night as I was talking about his situation. He and I understood where he was coming from. He said, "No, I didn't mean that God never comes through. But watch this. Your faith requires timing. So whether God's never come through or not, the key element of faith besides belief is timing. So there are only three key elements of faith. While we get into that, that's the object of the faith, it's the timing, and what it produces. But we fail in that. Why is that? Because we don't know how the word only works if you work it according to the word. See, we'll go to James chapter 4 by faith, and it says, where comes wars and fightings among you? Come they not hence, even of your lusts that war your members? Your members is the totality of who you are. So why do you want a wife? Why do you want a husband? Why you want a job? Why you want better money? That's a lust in your spirit. But what church has taught you and allowed you to do, you take that verse 2 and you say, you have not because you ask not. You done messed up the whole contextual foundation of the scripture because the scripture starts with wars and fighting. And then it says, you lust and have not, you kill and desire to have, and cannot attain, you fight and war, yet you have not because you ask not. It said you lusting for it. It said you killing for it. It said you desiring to have it, and you can't attain it. You fighting about it. You warring about it, yet you have it not because that's why he said you don't just take what it is, 6 verses, six words, and think God ain't gave it to you because he gonna give it to you because you asked for it. Let's break that down. And matter of fact, let me for 1 second, let me destroy everything thus far that you got in faith. I'm gonna destroy it so you can start over. Because what most of you asking for, and I don't even know it, 99.9% of it wasn't done in faith. Because number one, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness, and all things you should be added. Why you want a car without the kingdom? Because see, maybe your credit good, somebody credit in the kingdom bad. So if you ask God, so if you seek the kingdom, you don't think God will tell you to go get a car and give it to somebody else? I know you don't, because it's all about you. You got a job, somebody ain't got a job. You don't think God say, I want you to give them $400 every month out your check because they didn't work. You're not going to do it because you're not seeking the kingdom. You want a job so you can go get that Amiri and the Balenciagos and the red bottoms and I wish they bring back them Jordache jeans. Go get you some Lee jeans. What a name on your butt got to do with God? So watch this. You lust and you have not. What man you really want that you can't have? What woman that you like that don't want you? So y'all to sit around here and go to stalking people pages, paying attention to every slight detail of what they doing. And then when you find the object of their desire, you go to pick it apart. Ugh, he fat. Ugh, he ugly. Ooh, what kind? Ooh, look how long her hair is. Look how big her lips is. Ooh, I'm finer than her. Ooh, she too fat. You lusting, you stupid fools. That's why a lot of you being ran through because you lusting and kill. You killing what somebody else want because you want what they got. That's why your ministry ain't growing. Because you don't want to listen to the truth. You just want ministry because you want attention. Cannot attain. Because you ask and receive not, because you ask amiss, that you may consume it upon your lust. You don't want to get married for the kingdom. You just want your legs open. You don't want no job so you can help the kingdom. You just want people to know that you make 6 figures. That's the friendship of the world. So watch this. Everything that you ask for, and it hasn't been about kingdom, I'm here to tell you, you ain't gonna get it. I don't care how fine she is. I don't care how much word she know. Do she have power? I don't care how much he pray. Do he hear God? What it is? About 80 of y'all went out last night. If God wasn't the totality of the subject, you done wasted your time because you ain't in the kingdom. Faith does not contradict reason, though it may go beyond reason. See, faith is not a bare belief or you got to be intellectual to understand it. It is a willingness to trust in, rely on, and cling to God. I'm going to show y'all something in 1 minute. Let me go find it. It's going to blow your mind. Because I'm going to tell you the secret of marriage. I'm going to tell you in a minute. Let me go find it. Watch this. I want to make sure I read it good. Watch this. Where's that? Find you somewhere. Find you somewhere to go. That's what you do. I know it in my head, but I want to make sure I say the scripture. And in the morning, the 5th day, and that and that, and that and that. I got to find it. Just hold on. Watch this. Genesis 2:24. Therefore shall a man leave his father and his mother, and shall cleave unto his wife, and they shall be one flesh. Do you know Adam didn't have to recite wedding vows to Eve? That verse there showed, guess what? That Adam received Eve by faith. He seen her, He knew her. He said, I want her. They were both naked, the man and his wife, and were not ashamed. If you're a man and you're afraid to tell your wife anything, that's not your wife. If you're a woman and you're afraid to tell your man anything, that ain't your husband. Because where faith come in, no matter what they did in their past, what they going through, you should be able to accept it no matter what it is. We're not ashamed. See, Brother Hubbard don't care about you kissing on women. I done kissed on them too. Y'all see where we going with this? You shouldn't be ashamed of that. Things happen. Don't allow society to say God made people gay. God ain't made nobody gay. Because if he made you gay, why would he tell us it should be one man for one woman? But by faith, God allowed things to happen to some of us that cause us to go the way we go. That's not the sum total of who I am, by what I did. So the reason a lot of you are messed up in your faith because you want things but not willing to go through the trials to get what you want. Your faith is shot. Basically, your faith no good. So what we talking about? God says he said your faith is messed up. I done taught about faith as simple as I can many of times, but somehow you still can't get it, and we still around here getting it. So see, the way I tell you, see that noun is a descriptive action word. You ain't gonna find that in your you school teachers, you Bible thumpers. You ain't gonna find that nowhere because that's what revelation is. It's a descriptive action word. It speaks on the type of faith that it speaks on the different type of faith that you need to have in order to come to God. Because we are at birth, we are all dealt a measure of faith. The problem is, over the years, I keep telling you, I said, test your faith to see what level of faith God has given you. And I told you some of the things I did. The most faith I started with was descriptive faith, which means when I didn't understand what was going on in my life, I just say something random out the blue, and I say, God, if it show up as you. You know why? Because I believe God can do anything. And if I'm trying to learn God gonna answer me. But how many people did that? Nobody. Because when God gives you what you desire, you forget that you asked for it, and you don't want to know what kind of faith you got because you got what you had. So when we define now, it said at the present time, not in the past or future. So you got to know some of your faith only operates when you operate. That's like when people come to me or they call the ministry line strangers, or they send me an email, pray for me. That's my position. That ain't what he called me to. And I tell them that, then I said, tell me what the problem is. So my faith is not necessarily speaking in prayer. When you tell me the problem, I can give you the solution. So my faith in prayer works in, this what you need to do, and this what God would do for you when you do this. Why is that? Because if you've been following my ministry for years, I'm not a tissue ministry, which means if a man don't want you, don't come crying to me. I'm gonna say you shouldn't have been out there. And a lot of y'all done witnessed that. Well, you shouldn't have been in this bed. Now, wipe your nose, go on about your business. Your mama died, daddy died. Ain't no tears over here. That's part of life to me. You know why? Because I'm here to strengthen you, not encouraging you that it's okay to cry. Ain't nothing wrong with crying. The Bible says even Jesus will. But it ain't okay to stay in your weary ways. Don't come around me with no happy heavenly birthday and the Bible say the dead don't know nothing. They ain't got no reward. If they ain't got no reward, why you still trying to give them a birthday and they dead and gone? I consider you a fool. Watch this. That's why your faith is not working. Because what we gonna get into, because even as I teach this, you know what God said? He said, I want you to teach them how to pray all over again. Y'all don't even know how to pray. That's sad. Because you praying for things that's not helping to build a kingdom, you praying for things to help you look good on earth. You want to go back to school just to go to school. You ain't going to school to better your family. You just want all the degrees. I'm here to tell you, a degree don't mean nothing around me. I'll make you a degree with the Lord's help. It'll be just like alphabets. It wouldn't mean nothing. Because my faith in God, watch this, is that I don't need to go. He already taught me I don't need to go to school to learn him, to learn what's going on around in this world, because I believe in the individuality of this world. Then now it's defined as immediate. You know, you got to know when you say something and 10 seconds later you see it. You got to pay attention to that. That means it's a 10-second delay from when you praying and when God answering your prayer. You got to know if it's an hour delay. You got to know it's 2 hours delay. You got to know if it's two-day delay, because timing to God is everything when it comes to faith. When he said, let there be light, he didn't say there was 0.0.1 nanosecond and light came. No, light just appeared. Timing is crucial in the faith of God. But y'all don't want to hear that. You know why? Because the prophet had already got y'all in the sowing seeds and it's going to come. Now you're broke, fat, and your prophet still ain't came out. Then now is defined, what I say, it said used to express how long something has been happening from when it began to the present time. That's like the man that was at the pool for 40 years. See, some of y'all got the ability to diagnose what a person doing and how long they did that. I think I was talking to Doc yesterday. I said, you know, you 4 years behind in your business. That's faith. Because somewhere along the line, some of us will lose faith, but God has given us faith to let us know if we behind and how we got to get in line. But you know what? Some of us don't want to hear it because we think we done did everything just how God told us to do it. No, you ain't. You been lusting how God told you to lust. Then it says, now means used in stories or reports of past events to describe a new situation or event. See, people people amaze me when they come to me and they say, I've been believing in God for X amount of years, and I never got a relationship with God till I came to you. See, they telling me the stories of how pastors say they can't eat chocolate or ride motorcycles or get convertible because that's the devil. What kind of mess is that? But it showed me how manipulative a man or a woman can be when you looking at them for your spiritual enrichment, and all the time they manipulating your faith for their own personal gain. Let's get back in this word. So when we left off in Hebrews 11:9, it said, by faith he sojourned in the land of promise, as in a strange country, dwelling in tabernacle with Isaac and Jacob's, the heirs with him of the same promise. For he looked for a city which has foundations, whose builder and maker is God. It's tough to have exactly what God wants you to have, but you round there like Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. I don't know what this is, God, but it don't look like you. This ain't God. That ain't God. See, God is not no super spiritual, you can't see me. See, because watch this. Just because something is not lavish don't mean it ain't God. Because you forgot, Jesus was rich and became poor. What church has done and these carnal leaders has done, they got you thinking that when you go get the best, it's symbolic of God blessing you. That's not how it works. When you content with the less, that's a sign of God blessing you. Brother, you know what I'm saying? I look at my life. I used to be like y'all. I had I had to have name brand so much as growing up as a child that I'm stealing people clothes off their clothesline. And if it don't fit, I'm taking the emblem off and I get one of my shirts and I'm trying to sew it on there so it look like I got that shirt. I thank God I went through stuff like that because I was doing anything to look like I had something and I didn't have nothing. I had everything I need. Now watch out. You ought to go burn every fake handbag you got. You know they don't sell no Gucci and Louis at Greenbrow Flea Market at Hobby One Stop. Down there. That y'all know they don't sell that down there. You are fake and you busted. Because see now that shows your faith in God to strengthen you in material brand name good and not in his kingdom. Seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. That's called stealing when you buy something fake. Because these people got brands on their stuff. Why you think when you watch the news and they up in New York on the sidewalk selling that and the feds come around, they lock them up and take all their stuff. But you think it go in and get $40 on pump 3 and pay $70 for that that what they call them Don bag? That Birkin bag. You know good and well that's 6 figures. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. But then you go home, you got a disconnect notice on the light bill because you spent $70 on a fake purse that cost probably $265,000. You ain't even got a house worth that much. How you walking in the church like with something like that? They ought to listen to him. They ought to kick y'all out of church. Y'all going in there like y'all all up at it. And everything around you bootleg. You ain't got no faith, bootlegger. You's a bootlegger. Or might be a bootlegger. Watch this. That's why James chapter 4 is what it is. He's number 5 said, do you think that the scripture said in vain, the spirit that dwelleth in us, lust to envy? Ooh, I ain't finna go pay $500 for that person. Mean child got it for $40 at the house store because you envious. And a lot of you don't want to admit that you envious. Because guess what? You friends with the world. So when you hear Brother Hubbard talking about it, you get mad. So here it is. Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob was walking in their promised land and didn't know it was theirs. See, it's something for God to give you what you need. But because it's not Coke bottle shaped, because it ain't got a 6-pack, because it ain't got a corporate job, you don't want that. Because that don't look like God to you. That's why a lot of you been ran through to this day. Because the same thing you looking for, you got the same thing a man looking for. And when he get through with you, all you good for is a wet rag and probably throw you $300 on the floor. He don't put it in your hand. I don't know what y'all paying for it now. Back then, we just paid at the hole. They throw it on the floor, which means you don't even understand the dignity when a man throw it on the floor, throw it on the table or the way out. What he's showing you that you're not even worth a face-to-face acknowledgement of your worth. He make you get up and go look for it. Watch this. That's why a lot of you messed up mentally now. You think every man around you gonna dog you out, gonna cheat on you, gonna get the panties and leave because you mentally scarred for life, because you don't want to accept that you ain't healed. See, we can talk a good healing game, but when you see, if you're a woman of God and you looking for a man of God, it's certain things that God will allow you to do that you know is God. Because as we see, when God brought Eve to Adam, we got to understand he automatically knew her weakness. He automatically knew her strength. He automatically knew what she was made for. Y'all around him, what's your favorite color? What you like to eat? What you do for fun? What that got to do with God? How long you been believing in God? What's your gift? What's your calling? What's your anointing? What the last thing God told you? But y'all so consumed. Oh, girl, you look so good in that dress. I'm going to take care of you. I'm going to bring you in my house. And I'm like, what that got to do with God? Now he done took advantage of you and you feel embarrassed because you started with God, but you ended with the flesh. It said through faith, verse 11, also Sarah herself received strength to conceive seed and was delivered of a child when she was past age because she judged him faithfully who had promised. You know why God got many of you still conceiving seeds? Because you don't believe He gonna take care of you. So what some of you will do, you will shortchange God while you build yourself up. And then when you got just enough to build yourself up, then you'll believe God. See, the thing about faith that you're going to have to learn is that, let's go to verse 12 if I get in there. No, let's skip down to 13. So he named all these neighbors, Noah, Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Sarah, Enoch. But verse 13 said, these all died in faith, not having received the promises, but having seen them afar off, and were persuaded of them, and embraced them, and confessed that they were strangers and pilgrims on the earth. Watch this. The key thing about faith, and when you praying for God, is anything. Sometime it ain't gonna come. It's telling us people have died and didn't get what God told them what He was gonna do for them, but yet they still died believing Him. But not only did they die believing Him, they said they seen what God was gonna do for them and still died without even receiving it. Stop thinking God got to answer every prayer that you pray. That's why I'm like I am. I see the blessings of God already. What He gonna? I see all my consolation prize, but I can't touch them. But I see them. I don't know what that's what, listen here. I was talking to somebody the other day. They said, Brother Hubbard, you so funny. Because I was talking about how did I have all this stuff before I got married? And then out of 9 years, I have nothing to show for it but clothes, everything gone. But even the stuff I had, and see, I knew I had to lose it because God wanted to show me. He just want to show me to see that stuff don't matter to me. But we was talking. They say everybody say, boy, you funny, cause I had that bowl, huh? And I talked about the Walmart bowls. Y'all know they all one color, but then I had this intricate bowl with colors in us and design, and then I had my goddamn gold spoon. I've been eating silver. I eat cereal out of I guess steel spoon all my life. I never thought about it any other way. Watch this. So if I can thank God for eating out of something different as a god doggone bowl and a gold spoon, and not the cheap gold spoon, but I wish I had a dumb weight. You know how y'all used to weigh that dope on it? I'll weigh it to let you know how much it weighs. Because I probably going down to the pawn shop, time get hard. But I don't do that. But I had to lose it because He was showing me I got better for you, boss. Man, you can have them old Walmart bowls. I hope they melt in the dishwasher for all I care. I hope you lose every spoon and fork in that darn house. That don't matter to me. My relationship with God. So watch faith though. So by faith, I'm trying to hang on to something that really wasn't worth hanging on to because by faith, that person's faith was already somewhere else. They ain't got the nerve to send me an email telling me how I should treat the next woman. I should have cussed that mother out. Ooh, I'm getting mad, y'all. Help me. How in the hell you gonna tell me how to treat the next woman? And for 9 years of my life, everything I already had before I met you, I ain't got nothing. You better sit on the toilet and let your bowels run, messing with me. So now I got a sworn enemy for life. You know why? That's a sworn enemy for life. Because I didn't recognize my life was leaving me. I'm gonna help y'all. When I started talking about when I'm gonna teach on the disasters of divorce. See, all y'all think y'all happy when people gone, but it's some residual. Why y'all think I got that book after the divorce? I started on that book 5 years ago. I knew I was getting a divorce. It didn't surprise me. I'm a prophet. Why you think I wrote a book, Married but Separated? I write things before they happen because God already showing me what's gonna happen. The question is, it's when it get into the natural realm to happen. That's what affects a prophet's motive. That's when you got to stay sane. Y'all don't know for 5 months how Satan tried to take my mind. I would lay in the bed and stare at a wall for almost maybe 18, sometimes 20 hours a day. I might get up to eat. I was in a battle for my life because with that old boys and men, I had to come to a realization. Is this the end? Are you my friend? So Satan was trying to teach me, well, when she gone, that's the end of your life. See, it's a difference when you call of God than when you call in God. Or I'm gonna tell y'all about it. I ain't saying nothing to make nobody. I'm not saying nothing about that person to make her look bad. I'm we speaking from my perception on what I've received, on what was done to me. 9 years, I had it all. And in 9 years, it's gonna all be gone. See, I hadn't got the divorce. That's why I never finished the book. I was already prepared. But I didn't know what. See, I couldn't see what would happen when it happened. See, that's the stickler stuff. You waiting on something to happen. That's what faith is. Now faith, the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. So here we got people that seen what God was going to give them. They died without receiving it, but they still died in faith. God gonna do. Y'all know what y'all doing. Well, God, you need to bless me. I done gave this. I done sold this. I prayed this time. I done did everything you want. Why you ain't blessed me, God? It's his timing because it's his world because you his child. Stop being spoiled brats and be like Brother Hubbard. Just see the signs of when it coming. But guess what? If it don't, watch this. Do you notice my if y'all listen to me, do you notice God always bless my life without even blessing my income? Because I was taught not. See, people think I like money. I was raised by God to not care about money. That's why it's easy for people to send stuff and I send it right back if God say don't receive it. That's easy for people to send stuff and I send it back because God tested their faith. It ain't easy when you shortchange God and say you doing what God said and you know you ain't. I can't send it back. So now I was looking at the I was looking at the news clip of the woman having a baby by the man and found out the man had secretly got married. And when she found out, he choked her. He threw the body in the suitcase, went somewhere, him and his friend burnt the body. But you say you want a man. It's something to lose a man or a woman that you already had knowledge of who they are. And you go find somebody, they giving you everything you want, but you don't know the extent they go to when you find out the truth about it. I'm looking at the story where this man was married, had children, and his wife found out he was gay, and he killed his whole family. He around here having children, and he gay. And y'all around here going on dates because people show you attention. Man, you got to look at the ways God telling you that you blessed than when you ain't blessed. Listen here. Brother Hubbard went from going to Longhorn getting that big old 22-ounce steak, huh? What that was, about $33, to going to get that big old cowboy cut bone-in steak for $53. It's the same steak, but the difference was the cut. So I'm looking at it. I said, well, how that one 22 ounces and it looked like this, and this a cowboy cut and it's 22 ounces and it's like that. Bone in. Guess what? You can go down, but you ain't out. See, sometimes God had to take you down so you can reassess the situation before he bring you up. Man, that steak was so good, I was embarrassed. So I had to take it home because y'all know how we is. Because when I want to get it home and pick it up by that bone, I want to get on in there. You know, I don't, hey, I don't play no games now. I ain't leaving no meat on the bone. Ain't no meat on the bone. $53? Shit. You can't even look around your life and see what God already elevated you because you worrying about what you want that you haven't got yet, that you too prideful to see the small thing he's already given you to let you know is on the way. That's why I was talking about my little bitty bowl. See, that ain't nothing. It ain't nothing to you, but I'm thanking God. Cause guess what I was eating out of? I don't even see it. I had went to Ollie's. I had them old plastic bowl about this big, and I bought me about 3 spoons. Cause see, in a divorce, I ain't get no spoons. So I had to go buy me some more spoons. I didn't get no dishes, so I had to go to Ollie's, and they got this big old thing of plastic bowl, you know. And I had to pour my cereal in that plastic bowl, and I had some plastic forks and spoons, cause I ain't get none in a divorce, bastard. Yeah, I said it. So watch this. I went down, but I went out. So now I praise the Lord for my little bowl with my, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, what's that man name? I can't think of that cartoon. I'm like, what's his name? Linus, the man who used to walk around with the Linus, who walk around with the blanket all the time. That's how I walk around with my bowl and spoon. See, y'all don't even thank God for the little stuff. You waiting on the big ticket to come in. If I go buy me a lottery ticket, I'm winning $20. I'm thanking for the 20. Because even when I buy lottery tickets, I don't ask God to be a millionaire. I said, give me whatever I deserve. And for it look like I don't deserve that because I ain't been winning because I ain't bought none in a minute. But what I'm trying to get y'all to see, your faith flawed. It flawed real bad. Because the things you asking for, see, y'all asking God for men and women to marry, but you ain't asking them to be men and women of God. See, some of y'all just want help. Some of y'all just want to get out of mama's house. Some of y'all just want to get out of dad's house. But what good it is to get out their house and you end up like that lady in that barrel, burnt? What good is it getting married and you don't know the tendencies of your man and you end like that woman and her children shot? Watch this. I was following in a case. It was down in Atlanta. They found a man and 3 children dead in the park. Came to find out the 3 children wasn't here. It was 4 children, but his child wasn't with him. You know what happened? When the story came out, he went over to ex-girlfriend's house to ask her, can he take her children out to eat? He took them to the park and killed him and himself. What y'all getting into? See, some of y'all finna suffer for what y'all did. Because God gave you just what you needed, and you couldn't look past what they deal with, so you dumped them. Some of you can't look past what you've been through, so you didn't want them. Watch this. If I happen to read in the paper, it happened to anybody I know, you know what I'm going to say? At least I talked about it. That's all I'm going to say. I ain't finna cry. I ain't coming to no funeral. I ain't writing them on the obituary. I ain't saying you my friend because I told you to put your faith in God, not in me. Y'all done did everything the way you wanted to do, and this world coming to end, and God trying to get you to a place that your faith is His. I told y'all, you got to hear God so good that if He tell you Brother Hubbard gonna be at the Mercedes-Benz Dome in Atlanta till 2:30, you need to get there because he got somewhere else to go. Because when the infrastructure go down, only thing you gonna rely on is your spirit. Some of you got to say, okay, he gonna be up there in Florence, South Carolina at 4:30. Make sure you make it to Florence. Watch this. When they start to bomb in this world, I don't care about no clothes, no car. I'm gonna grab me some food. I'm gonna grab me some water. And Brother Hubbard getting it. Brother Hubbard's spirit got to be so sharp. Hey, such and such gonna be there at 2:45. If they ain't there at 2:45, Go then. Watch. You hear me saying time. That's why I say God is trying to test your faith in timing. Because timing gonna be important in the word. Timing gonna be so important. I could be sitting here doing a video, and God could tell me, "Hey, a missile finna hit by you." I got to get up and run with just my drawers on if necessary. Huh? That's how. That's how quick you got to be able to heal God's spirit. But you know what y'all do? I can't do that, God. How am I buy food? How am I pay rent? I ain't gonna have enough. When we get to heaven, we're gonna have more than enough. Why y'all wondering if you got enough on earth? But hey, do what you want to do. I ain't in it.